Hey everybody, how you doing? Let's talk Supergirl. Now, we got it opening next weekend, and you look online and things are all over the place. You got people predicting it's going to open for 40 million, then 50 million, then 60, then big, low, small, up, down. I think currently it's between 40 and 50 million, some sites. Some say 50 to 60. I don't know. It's going to struggle a little bit because Toy Story 5 opens this week and will still be in theaters. And even at a 60% drop off, Toy Story 5 might still be number one at the box office. Really depends on how Supergirl does. But we're talking about a character that isn't as well known as people think it is. It's not like Batgirl, where there's been a bunch of Batgirl stuff and we've seen Batgirl. Supergirl has been a derivative character her entire career. And when she has gotten a chance to be in live action, she hasn't really established herself as a unique character. And a lot of times in the comics, she hasn't either. Her runs have always, the runs in the comics always go all over the place. They really haven't. The one they're adapting, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, is probably the first one that is really considered a great Supergirl run. Now, I know some people will come at me in the comments saying, oh, this one, that one. But the bottom line is that most of the time she's treated like a clone of Superman. The most egregious case is the CW. Well, she started on CBS, but then joined the Arrowverse. Melissa Benoist was a lot of fun. The series was fun, but it was a Superman show with Supergirl in the lead. They made her a reporter all of a sudden. She's never been a reporter in the comics. They gave her Jimmy Olsen. They gave her Cat Grant. They built Superman show around Supergirl because Warner Brothers wouldn't let them do a Superman show. And they treated her personality and everything like Superman. They're very different characters because their experiences are very different. Superman was a baby when he left Krypton, got to Earth as a baby, and grew up with loving parents. Even though they weren't his parents, they were his parents. They raised him. He grew up knowing Kansas. He didn't know anything about Krypton. What he learned later was on videos and stuff that he found in his ship. Supergirl was a teenager when this happened. She lost her parents that she knew well. She lost her friends, her home. She is much more traumatized by the events. And it's much newer for her because I don't know how they're going to treat in the movie, but in comics it's been a few different things, like she gets put into a black, or Superman gets put through a black hole and she doesn't, but or she's in suspended animation, whatever. There's a reason why she isn't much older than when she left, and Cal has grown up for 30 years on Earth. So even though she is older than him, she's now physically younger. She's going to have to deal with that trauma, all of that angst, and that is something they really haven't addressed in live action. So this is the first time that's happening. So it's not going to be, if you're a fan of the Supergirl TV show, it's not that. This is different. This is grittier. This is more emotional. Where Superman was more of a world building show or movie, this is a little more focused on Kara, a little more focused on figuring out who she is, her place in the world, and it's a more personal story. It's True Grit meets Mad Max with some Guardians flair, but it's not a copy of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not even a James Gunn film. It's Craig Gillespie. So I think people need to clear their minds and just go in and expect see what they see and enjoy it. You know, and the reviews have been not the reviews, reactions have been. If you read them, they're mostly positive. There's some knocks against Creme of the Yellow Hills, the villain, but if you read the actual story, he's a pretty lame-ass villain anyway. So it's pretty true to the adaptation or to the comic. But people are praising Millie Alcock. They're praising Jason Momoa. They're praising the action. They're praising the heart of the movie. And those are all very positive things to me. But if you look online, everybody will say, oh, mixed reactions. Well, yeah, there's some negative reactions, but it's like 3 or 4 positives to 1 negative. Even the people who are saying that it's all right are praising Momoa and Alcock and stuff like that. So just try to have an open mind when you go into this, and if you like what they're doing with the DCU, give it a shot. And if it's not clicking with you, then maybe skip it. Or wait till it hits HBO Max. But I don't, kind of ignore what's going on with the internet right now, because most of the people who are doing stories like this are just doing clickbait. Now, am I doing clickbait? I don't have an audience. I barely have any followers, so I'm not clickbaiting anything. Plus, I've lived my whole life working in comics, wanting them to succeed, but being honest about it too. So I know there's good and there's bad, and not everything is for everybody. So if you see it, let me know what you think. Jump in here or hit me up on YouTube or whatever, and let me know what you guys think. Other than that, I will see you guys later. Have a good day.